What is going on, guys? First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you so much. You guys are freaking awesome. The love that was shown in the last video that I had posted after I had been away for almost a week was just overwhelming. And not just for me, but I don't want to speak on behalf of them, but for the author as well. You guys showed so much love and so much support for that person, having the courage to submit one of their stories and allow me to cover it. And I just want to say, you guys, are the greatest, and you guys deserve just the best. So I want to say thank you for that. And if you guys continue, I would love it if you guys could continue showing support. And again, if any of you guys would love to submit one of your own stories or have a particular favorite creepypasta that you guys love that you'd like me to cover, by all means, guys, reach out to me. Slide into my DMs on my social medias at the end of the video. Also, you can email me at madaracreepypasta@yahoo.com. And yeah, like I said, I read all the comments and I try and get back to everyone. But, round of applause to you all, and, just the love that is shown in that comment section was immense. And I hope the author did manage to see how much you guys enjoyed the story, and just alone the views on it was just amazing in the short time that I posted it. So give yourself a pat on the back, guys. You are amazing. You're more than just subscribers to me. You're my creepypasta family, and I'm happy to see the channel growing. Whether it be the views going up and people just leaving comments in the comment section. It's not necessarily about the subscribers, but it's just about you guys interacting and showing love. So I'd like to say thank you for that. Finally, I don't want to ramble too long. The following video was actually requested by one of our Creepypasta family members. So yeah, he sent me the link. I think they were two sentence horror stories, or a little bit more than two sentences. But I looked into it and I actually really enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Let me stop rambling. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe button, and share it with your friends and family if you think they'd enjoy this kind of thing. So without further ado, let's get into the story. I'll speak to you guys in the next. Take care. Bye. God would never allow such a horrid creature in his house, the priest exclaimed as the demon approached. The creature hissed, Then you should know why he sent me. Even though I could swim, I exhaled voluntarily and swallowed the water. Knowing what was going to happen to me if I survived the witch trial, death by drowning was easier to accept. In a sheer panic, the man pulled his sidearm and placed 3 shots into the chest of the enemy combatant. Dad, his son's last words were drowned out by the fireworks outside. I love you, honey. I would never cheat on you. I won't say it again. Stop crying. Wipe the blood from your face and say it like you mean it. He trembled as he heard the principal activate the lockdown alarm. The assault rifle in his hand shook with him. I can hear him screaming in pain every time the jumper cable's clamps touch the temples and the electric charge hits the brain. A few more shocks, and I should be able to stop the voice in my head forever. Ignorance is bliss, the captain thought to himself as he switched off the seatbelt sign. Deep down, he really wanted the passengers to enjoy one last moment of peace. When I was 12, I asked God to let me experience the happiest moment I'll ever have in the next 30 years early. I still remember smiling ridiculously on the ground, holding my red chest as the pain started to fade. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. I had been threatening to run away for years. I got my wish when a man grabbed me and threw me into the back of his van. I came home from my night shift and was happy to see my wife and our little girl nestled together in bed. I didn't know the carbon monoxide detector had failed. The abuse had finally gone too far. I was ready to leave my boyfriend. It's boring that all he does now is just piss himself in fear. I know for a fact they'll never find the body, because I'm down here with it. The man smiled grimly as he tipped his hat. He laughed menacingly after stating, "I never said that I was a nice guy." I noticed my cat walking along the dark hallway, so I called him. That thing wasn't Whiskers. "Can I confess something to you now? I'm not really a priest. I love the sounds of the country at night. The crickets in the grass, the frogs in the ditches, the whippoorwills in the forest, the heavy breathing behind me, the cicadas in the trees. Yes, I did say I wanted the kind of friends that would call me in the middle of the night for help hiding a body. But I wasn't talking about anti-vaxxers, Karen. A man who lived alone in his house hadn't used the washroom all day. When he finally went to the bathroom, the toilet seat was warm. The paranoia overexerts its own paraphernalia as I'm shaking by anxiety. It's awake. My wife was breathing hard in her sleep, so I asked her if she was alright. I wasn't expecting her to turn completely around and tell me she's fine. "The dishes in the dishwasher are clean," she said. Oops. If I'm here and the baby is sitting on the chair over there, then who's in the stroller? Every night I go to bed wishing something horrible will happen to me, and every morning I wake up. We had crossed over 10,000 feet under undiscovered waters. We thought we had made history. We didn't think that we'd be stuck down here forever. My girlfriend decided to break up with me when she caught me watching snuff porn. That was fine. I'd been wanting to make my own anyway. "No, you can't pet the dog," I said to my daughter with an angry look. I love her, but I just couldn't handle the sight of her, baring her teeth into such a small, innocent creature again. When I got home from work last night, it was evident that my 12-year-old had attempted to clean the house. I smelled dish detergent near the kitchen and washing machines, bleach and ammonia by the bedrooms, stain removers on the carpet, etc. I found him sleeping in his bed an hour before his curfew, but let him be. As soon as we get up tomorrow, I'll let him know how proud of him I am. I smiled as the villagers set the bonfire ablaze with a woman tied to a stake as they screamed, "Burn the witch!" They got the wrong one again. There's a saying which reads, "Eye for an eye." Sadly for him, I took the only one he ever had. I'm not going to be one of them anytime soon. He cringed at his old Reddit comment as he rubbed his essential oils into his skin. I was so shocked when I realized I had listened to the whole thing and my headphones weren't connected properly. Everyone around me was even more shocked to hear the recording of my last victim. Things couldn't possibly get worse, she thought as she went into labor early on the public toilet. She knew she was wrong when the automatic toilet flushed, taking her premature baby down the bowl. It feels weird when you realize you're actually a brain controlling a body from the inside. It feels even weirder when the body isn't yours. All the paperwork was filled out, and my new home awaited past this border control point. The people I was running from, however, lay in wait for me just beyond. "Police, let me see your hands." Oh God, why are there so many? My sister was worried when she thought she'd lost her phone, but she was even more worried when I called it and her voice answered. Nothing like taking a nice hot bath with the candles lit and bubbles floating around you. Of course, the bubbles were from the toaster. I wish my sister would stop screaming for my help. After all, Dad had tied us both up. Shut the door. Nobody leaves this room, I ordered. It could be inside any one of us, I added. A message to you. We are the cause of all your suffering and the grief. We are truly sorry. We can't stop though. Not ever. Because it's what we feed on. When I was put on anesthesia for my surgery, I didn't know that I would hear everything. I was okay with it until I heard the doctor say, "Fuck, that ain't right. Shit, shit, oh shit. What do I do now?" Bruised and bleeding, I was glad when they threw me in the cage with my dogs. They bared their teeth and growled, saliva dripping down their jaws, and I realized they hadn't been fed in weeks. All at once, millions of people across the world suddenly started floating and quickly rose high into the air. After a few hours of confused panic, the world watched in terror as they all came falling back down. The last thing I remember is my dad pointing a gun at my face. His dementia made it hard for me to convince him I wasn't the thief. I screamed into the vast nothingness as I was drifting aimlessly away from my spacecraft. The void screamed back at me. The front porch light came on, and I saw my sister walking towards the house. We shouldn't have buried her in such a shallow grave. They believe my father pulled his teeth out due to dementia. This is the fifth morning, however, when I had to dump out a cup of worms from his dentures. They are monsters that come to my room every night and hurts me. I wish it didn't look like my dad. A stranger called me while I'm in home. I can hear myself saying hello through a phone coming from the other room. After my puppy passed away last week, I had been getting tired faster. I could barely stay awake during the day. I went to check on my kids today. They both seem to be sleeping peacefully, even after shaking them. Now, I think I will join them. We don't speak ill of the dead. They have ears everywhere. I want us to be together forever, I told my girlfriend. Her brilliant smile quickly turned to a look of horror as I jerked the wheel, sending us over the guardrail to the river far below. "It's a boy," my wife excitedly shouted. "It's her favorite delicacy for our anniversary dinner." You bang on your wall behind to get your noisy neighbor to stop laughing. You then hear her cries coming from the opposite wall. The devil's greatest trick wasn't to convince us that he didn't exist. It was that God did. I woke up from the best sleep I ever had, to a gun pointed at my head. I then felt a much deeper sleep overtake me. Everyone had said I'm sorry, except my dad. He was the only one at the funeral to say I apologize. My wife and newborn girl were so peaceful in the corner of the nursery, singing lullabies, until her head fell off. I looked outside and saw the shadows on my lawn. I'm homeless. I was on the 9th floor when the building went on lockdown. I heard screams from the 1st floor, then the 2nd, then the 3rd. After the final push, I didn't know what was more frightening, the fact that my baby wasn't screaming, or because the doctor was. Everything was perfect, and I was ready to commence my new world. I tricked the inhabitants into thinking the universe started 13.8 billion years ago. The doctor told us she was pregnant with twins, but when the big day came, only one came out, with a big, bloody grin on its face. Wow. My daddy doesn't believe I can see people's thoughts. Maybe he will when I ask him why he keeps imagining me with white stuff on my face. You locked your front door before you went to bed. Too bad, I'm already in your bedroom. We were only a few miles from town when the lights caught up to us. I wonder if they'll ever bring us back. Suddenly, something touching my butt. The weird thing is, I'm sitting on a toilet. I just woke up and everything is completely dark. From above me, I can hear people sobbing in some kind of prayer. I kissed my wife and whispered, "Together forever." The air in her casket was almost gone. Do you know the Muffin Man? He knows you.